Hello, welcome to a new stream. Today I want to try something new, and I was thinking about tile maps because I need some backgrounds for my game. So I've been thinking about how do I do backgrounds for my game, and after some thinking, I've decided that I may go for tile maps. As you can see with this concept, the background uses a bunch of tiles, which, if I get the file, are these. These are the tiles used for the buildings in the back to give that nice city-like feel to it. And I thought, hey, why do I not make more tile maps? So that's what I'm going to do, making some tile maps. Right here I have the templates for a basic tile map. So now I have to just remember how do I draw a tile map. It's been like years since I did that. So I'm gonna look at some of my older tile maps for reference. Like this dirt. Nothing too crazy going on. All I need to see is where do all the green bits go, which represents the grass. So as long as I draw, don't go over where the grass is, I should be fine. Or in this case, I just need to know where the line starts and ends. I really should have used more color so it's better represented. So it's better to see the difference in the where I should where the one tile starts, where the next ends or next begins. These are 8 by 8, so I set the grid to 8. I don't think you can see that on a stream though, as these grids are very small. But I see them, that's what matters the most. So this way is easier to see the difference. I'm not sure how well it appears on the stream, since the stream is, what's the word for it? Compressed. But now you can see where each tile is, so I just have to draw on top of it. But what do I draw? That's the question, isn't it? I can draw something like this, simple yet effective. Or I have an idea. What if I haven't decided exactly what I want to draw. That's the problem. You have those moments when you want to start a stream, but you don't know what you want to do during the stream. I can draw a I could draw this. I don't know how big this is though, but if I take the color and just throw it on top of all the white bits, then I theoretically have the tiles represented, and then I just do tweaks to remove everything that it doesn't need. And that way I do have a functional tile map. But that depends on how well represented this is, because I'm not sure if these are made for 8 by 8. Probably not. So let's check. I want to check that out first then, to make sure it won't mess with the tiles. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it will very much mess with the tiles. Well, maybe barely not. Maybe barely not. But I will have to check that out in the game engine to make sure it doesn't. Because the way I see it, it will. It very much will. But I think regardless, I think I can make use of it for the first attempt. All I have to do for now is just take it all and draw on top of it. So we have the tiles represented. I will have to make sure it lines up properly, which I can only do in the game engine. But the problem is if I start the game engine, the stream will lag, so I have to do that on my own time. And I think some of the tiles are also not on the properly on the grid, so I may have to change the pixels place to place. Or maybe they are all exactly on the grid. Actually, no, I think they are all perfectly on the grid. Well, that makes it easier for me. Means I don't have to worry as much. And there are no viewers to say. If I said it on a... Well, I did set on public, so I guess it's not popular stream today. Well, that means that it will likely be a short stream if no one shows up. In terms of tiles, what did I want to say? In terms of styles, these black bits are where the corners are, the edges. So I have to decide on whether or not I want to have them drawn in, which I can do by taking all the black bits, and that way I have the tiles. I will remove the black from here. But doing so, every tile will be perfectly pixelated. Not pixelated, I mean perfectly square, which may not be what I necessarily want. So let me quickly think. How do I want it? Okay, so this is a perfect square. This is how I expect a wall to look. I can make the walls thin, like just a few pixels thin. That way, if I make a straight up wall, it won't be these big boxes on top, rather a thin line. That way, it adds a more intrigue and it gives that a pillory feel to it. For that, I take this and I just make this thinner by which do I need? I will duplicate this one for now. And as I said, I will take this, the standard brush, and set to erase. And if, depending on how thin I want, I can have 2 pixels wide, 3 pixels wide, or 4. I think I'll go with 4 wide. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Because that way there's still some detail going on here, but not so much that it completely overshadows the wall. And then we just add outlines to it so it also doesn't look out of place. But what we do need to do is making sure it lines up with the other pixel art, the other tiles. Otherwise it will look very wonky. But I'm not too concerned about that right now. So for the sides, I can make the sides this for a straight line. How do I do if it's not a straight line? I can make it like steps, like a stepping stone, right? What is the top layer anyway? Oh, right, the top layer was that. I can make it like a stepping stone. So if it goes something like so, and that way, when I have this one on the side, on its own, it will look like a little pillar, right? Those I don't know the word for it. Or not really, because this is for separate, which means that's not what I want. That's for if they are separate on the screen. But do I want to be ever separate? Is this in the facial tiles? I'm actually not sure if I even want that. Maybe. What I do want this one right here, but do I want it to be... Oh, I know. If I take this and just have this whole part not drawn, that way, when you're on the edge of the cliff, it will look like if you make in the water right here, you can just draw some water for funsies to give some visual representation. If you make in there's water, you can see that it's going just slightly to the back and then underneath. But maybe that's not what I want either. Do I want it to go downward? I mean, cliff. That's the question, isn't it? Either way, it will use outline, so I'm not too concerned about the colors right now. But I'm not actually sure if I want to use the... I want to try some other color. I'll first make this all gray on a separate layer. Just so I can make it all white again on this layer. I know. Because I think this will give a very nice... Ooh. I can make it a switch around too, right? So if one brick layer is white, you get like a switching pattern that goes from one color to the next. But maybe it's for another day, I think. Another texture. I want to try first another texture pattern that something bluish, I think. I'll make the brick layer blue and then have the I want a very lightish blue, but not too light. This should do for now. And then have another layer that takes all the blue and then have a 30%, Nah, that's too many. Let's go for 5%. That's 1 pixel per tile. Well, 2 pixels per tile. I think that will give the right feel. That's for certain, but not the right color. I think more orange will look way better. Underneath, good white and off-white. But it needs to be way brighter. Then I need to make the orange also a bit brighter. So if you imagine this to be like a stony wall texture, when you in a like a European-esque town, if I put it on top of water, I think that will look pretty nice. So you have the pillars. And where's the black layer from anyway? Hmm. Oh, right. I know. Okay, so you have the outline layer, and we need to make that, turn that into that I'm pretty sure that's not even that hard. All I have to do is just take all this and turn that into this. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to erase the corners. Well, and what I'm just going to do is erase the corners, which is just singular pixels. So every corner that has it's connected to the grid will be erased. So it gives that very roundish feel. I have to be careful that I don't draw on top of the Okay, I do that so I don't accidentally draw on the wrong layer. Or more precise, erase on the wrong layer. And I will test that out in tonight, I think. Sometime after I've showered. I'm pretty sure I'm not doing this correctly, by the way. I have to check on a very specific one, which is this. Well, this makes it a lot easier to know which one I need to delete. Alright, I forgot that I changed things around at some point, but that shouldn't matter too much actually. I'll just redraw them, because the only thing that matters here is that I know these corners need to be deleted. This, this, and this. These corners also need to be deleted. And then you have the cornerless tile map. But wait, I made a mistake somewhere. And that's right here. It's because I accidentally deleted that earlier. And also, it's not a... There's some wrong colors here and there. Do I have the proper tile map? So the next question is, how do I do? I said that I wanted to make it pillory, so just make one of the pillars smaller, and that will give the exact feel I want. The one that needs to be smaller is this one, right here. Well, just make this 2 pixels smaller, and then add texture to it. The top can be... I need to make the top a little bit inwards, so it looks like it's very pillory. This will make more sense in game. Now it looks a bit awkward. I think I made it too wide. Yeah, I wanted to make it a bit narrower. And we do this, but the same but on the bottom. But on this bottom part, I will make it a bit higher up, I think, to really give that is standing on top of a stone feel. Or not. Actually, no, I think I don't want to do that. If I want to change that, I can always do that later. So now you have one pillar right here. I made the bottom too small. Then hang on. Okay, that's my birch. And there we go, that should fix it. I will need to make use more colors than this. How many colors did I use for 0 pretty much? So point is, right now you have this pillory like thing. Maybe I'm gonna remove the dot so it looks a bit cleaner. Because really I don't think the dots do very much. A lot at all. More of a little experimentation, but maybe not a successful one. Well, there hasn't been anyone present in today's stream, so I think I'm going to stop streaming in a bit. I'm gonna quick check something. Oh. Nope. Okay, where was I? Right. You know, I don't even know if I really need these. A lot of this is very unnecessary. Because this. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, this. And this. These are a bit unnecessary for me to have. Because I'm not really planning to make a platformer. But I think it's probably better that I do have them. But I'm not sure yet in what way. Okay, I have an idea on how I can utilize them. And that is, if I turn these into staircases, that way I can theoretically turn any of the into what's it called? Temples. Greek style temples, but without green color and more with a stony color. Something more like this, something more like this, very grayish stone color. That way it will look more Greek, you could say. I should have done the colors the opposite way. Then have a darker to represent the outline. That way I can have very Roman style buildings. But what I think I need to do is turn this higher resolution to 16 by 16. That way I can add more detail to every tile. Right now I don't have enough detail to really make what I want. Either way, I think I will end the stream here, because, well, it's not that interesting to stream for me when there's no one around. So, bye.